Hello, Mom. Here's your basic trail cam instructional. Alright, so there's a loop through the back that the tree strap goes on. There's also a standard, I think this is a quarter 20 thread, which is a standard thread for any camera tripod sort of related thing. But I've been strapping it to the trees with or to whatever with the strap, and the end of the strap just goes through the little pinchy buckle here, and then you pull it snug. I'm sure you can figure it out. It's not too hard. They do say that if this has got two cameras, it's got a day and a night. Those are the two at the top here. So they do say that if it snows, the snow tends to pile up on this little ridge here and obscure things. So I hope it doesn't snow too much where you are, but I don't think it does. There's a power input here for the bottom for if that power accessory shows up, so you don't have to swap the batteries, and I think this just threads onto this thing. So for now, it's running on batteries, rechargeable batteries. There's a lockable hasp here if you want to put a padlock on it. You can also run a cable lock to lock it through this thing on the back if you're worried about someone stealing it, but it doesn't seem like much of an issue. So you flip this up, the front comes off, front falls off as the joke goes. You have this here, there's a setting for off, setup, and on, which is pretty self-explanatory. I'll go through the setup in a minute. This is the eject button for the battery. This is the menu button, and this is the execute button, and then these are the buttons to drive it when you're doing the setup. It's all pretty well set up, but I'll go through that. Anyway, just go through the batteries real quick. So you push the button. If you're lucky, this thing comes all the way out. It usually doesn't for me. It usually pops in part way out. Yeah, right. And now it's kind of, there's a little good bit of a catch there, so you have to just kind of tug on it. And then to get the batteries are the typical, like two go up and two go down and then two go up again. And they're kind of in here pretty snug, and so this is the spring end here. I usually have to pry a little bit at the non-spring end. I use something blunt, like a blunt tool, pop these out and put them in the charger. But again, hopefully that'll be a non-issue. Yeah, tuck that back in. It just goes really snug. There's two memory cards. I got you two memory cards so you can swap them without having to pull the camera down. And so you just push on the card and it clicks in or clicks out. And I don't know if I got you a memory card reader. I think we're going to count on you having a reader. Or maybe I'll throw one in. Anyway, it's just an SD card. 32 gigabytes, should hold a lot of pictures and video. The video right now it's set. It's got several modes. It can take just pictures, it can take just video, or it can take a certain number of pictures and then start taking video. And so I was trying it with 3 pictures and video, but then the video would miss a lot of whatever it was. So I've now just got it set to take a 1 picture and then 10 seconds of video. All right, so you got that goes in there, tucks in. Your Mac may have a reader directly in it for that SD card. Okay, so then this is all set up already. You don't really have to mess with this any more than you want to. I'm going to turn it to setup. And it'll show you like what it sees, so that you can turn it to setup to see what the view is, assuming you have some glasses to look at this tiny little 1.5-inch screen. Anyway, so I'd go to menu, and it would say set clock. Well, I've already got it set to Welsh time, which is 21:56 p.m. right now. You can't see the 21, but now you can. All right, so I'm not gonna hit execute. I'm gonna hit menu to back out of that. Okay, menu, set clock. There's the hybrid mode. As I said, you get the choice between camera and video or hybrid. Image size 3 megapixel. Don't bother with these 8 or 30 because it's not really an 8 or 30 megapixel camera in there. Just leave it on that. Capture number 1, that's where I was saying, like you can set 1, 3, 10, let's see, enter, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay, so you can set from 1 to 5. So we'll set to 1, we'll move on. Flash mode, this seems to work long range. Camera name is currently Margaret, so we'll leave it at that. Video size, it's tempting to set this for 60 frames per second, but that's not going to be as sensitive at night because the camera will be spending twice as much time with its shutter closed and those tricky things. So that's probably the best compromise there. Video length is set for 10 seconds. You can make that longer if you want. It's just going to take a picture. The interval, that means it's going to wait 10 seconds after it's shot a video before it starts shooting another one, before it even is willing to trigger again. Sensor level, I've left it on high. I guess you could set it to auto, I don't know, or normal. Yeah, if it's catching a bunch of like leaves or trees moving, then yeah, I would change that around. Camera mode, 24 hours, of course. Format, it just formats the SD card or the memory card. You don't need to do that unless it's acting weird, or if you just want to clean everything off there, but it's easy to clean that off on the Mac. Timestamp is on. Field scan is an option. It's described in the manual. I didn't mess with it, but if you just had the camera watching something and you wanted it to come on every 5 minutes for a certain period of time and just take a look, it'll do that. And coordinate input, you could input your map coordinates. It doesn't really matter since you're going to know where the camera is. Video sound is on. Pro settings is just some color things. I looked at it, but it's not worth messing with. This is to reset everything to defaults. If you do that, you'll have to reset. You have to change the setup, so we don't want to do that. There's a version number. Presumably, you can upgrade the firmware in this thing. And then we're back to set clock, so we're done. So we'll get out of here by pressing menu again, and that was good. I'll try to do a separate video on how to deal with the memory card in the Mac. Maybe I'll set this out tonight and see if I can catch some cats again, or maybe a possum. I think I got one squirrel. All right, love you. Talk to you later. Bye.